faster.
You fast. All right. Wow. What a wonderful game. What a wonderful atmosphere. Any time that we get together with NC State, it's a fun game. It's an exciting game. It's a competitive game, and the mutual respect that we have for each other. I think it just bodes well not only for women's basketball, but especially the ACC and what kind of teams that we're able to produce. And you give them credit. They played exceptionally well. They came out. We put them in positions and dared them to make certain shots, and they did. I thought Hayes was fantastic tonight. Sanaya Rivers is a problem, just trying to guard her and keep you in front. But they're a terrific team, and they have some of the best guards in the league and the most athletic guards in the league that are hard to guard. And that was on display against us early. But very proud of our kids, the resiliency that they showed. We didn't play our best basketball throughout. I thought we just didn't capitalize on some shots. It's like we were rimming out and they were making theirs, and we dug ourselves a hole. But we continued to fight. Georgia had a couple shots that I just don't know how they didn't go down, and for some people it can rattle them. But she really stepped up and pulled us through at the end. But phenomenal game. The crowd was unbelievable. Sellout crowd during break is unbelievable. And I said it a lot. That crowd can make a good team great, and we needed every bit of them tonight. And when they announced the sellout, I don't know, it may have gave us a little boost. Yeah, gave us a little boost, and they dug in a little bit harder, and then they fed off the energy of the crowd. But great win for us. We're going to enjoy it, hard fought, and get ready next week for Miami.
Start in the back with David.
Georgia, you're like the coach on the floor, so from your perspective, how perfect was the execution of that play from Kayla to Liz?
Yeah, well, the first play we were running, I was like, okay, feeling it, and then Wes called the timeout and then changed it up, so we changed it up. And to be honest, it's kind of an old faithful. I think we've gone over that play multiple times in practice. And Kayla has great vision and great accuracy with that pass, and I knew that it's worked before, so I was very, very confident. And Liz, I remember screening and turning around, and she just had it above her head, and I was like, sick, we won.
And Georgia, how frustrating was it early on to try to get shots that just weren't going in, and how did you kind of shake that off and, like the coach said, be resilient?
I didn't feel terrible about them because, as Coach Brooks said, they literally were in and out. I think I had a floater that was actually in, and then it rolled out. So I wasn't too worried about it, but I just knew that halftime was a good time to reset and, be like a goldfish. Have you seen Ted Lasso? Be like a goldfish and just forget it.
Kenny, another opportunity against a top 10 team. How badly did you guys need this one, considering it was at home, great crowd, big opportunity?
I think we needed it bad, but not for maybe some of the reasons that some people think. Obviously, in this league, we're going to run into a lot of teams that are ranked, and the teams that are going to be able to contend for a regular season championship are the ones who host serve at home and then go on the road and steal a few. Because this league is just so good. And it's hard to win on the road here. But we needed it, and obviously we stumbled early in the year against the two ranked opponents that we had. A lot of people wanted to kind of judge us on that. We dropped so many spots because we lost a game to a team that was ranked ahead of us. And so we just kind of dug in and said, hey, we're not trying to prove anybody wrong. We're just going to continue to prove ourselves right. And that worked for us last year, and it continues to work for us. But, I just think that it's like a game like that, or a win like that, it's like feeding the monster, because I think that people are going to continue to come back. And you see a game like that, and you have such a great time, and you can't wait. When there are people who haven't been here before, maybe looking at our schedule, okay, when can I get back? And that's why it's important for us. We have a lot of basketball left to play, so it wasn't a dire need of that game because of the standings. It was just for a lot of other things, and that really would help us as we go down the stretch, and for our program, period.
Georgia, NC State only had one basket in the final 8 minutes of the game, which came in the final minute. What did you guys do defensively after they were pretty productive in that third quarter to kind of slow them down, and how much did that kind of propel you guys, that defensive effort down the stretch?
Yeah, I think we had a timeout, and we were just in that huddle, and we're at this point, what's there to lose, quite literally. So I'm so proud of the girls to go out and lock in and play really, really solid defense. But for me, it was the 50-50 balls. It was the rebounds that Kayla and Carly both grabbed, and Liz contesting every single shot that went in there. I think we just had like a different sense of a demeanor and aggression that we were just like, they cannot score. And like, as you said, the crowd, like as every time we got a single rebound, I think a decibel increased. Like it was just insane. So we really fed off that energy. But I think it just came down to the crucial moments. We really just locked in and got those 50-50.
To add to that, we changed the angle of what we were doing. I had her, instead of sitting back waiting at the three-point line, she was able to pick up a half court just so that they couldn't get a running start. That helped out a lot. We put Carly played the whole fourth quarter, and her length and her defense was much better, and it gave us a boost. And then, as Georgia said, we fed out the crowd, but we started getting the 50-50 balls, the rebounds that we needed, and we changed it. We were switching a little bit more as opposed to not switching. But they did a tremendous job of just executing what we wanted and what we needed.
Kenny, on your last play, so was Liz, that was the play was for her to inbound it directly to Liz. Were there any other options? And then that wasn't the original thing, though? You changed it after State called a timeout?
No, we had a different play before State called the timeout. It got to the point where, because when they had their setup, I looked at it and saw what it was. We know they're out of bounds plays. They know our out of bounds plays. It pretty much was, we shouldn't have run offense all day because we know them so well. They know us so well. They're calling out our plays. We're calling out their plays. And it came down to, just willing yourself to win. So when they had the basketball with 7 seconds left, we called a timeout. Wes switched up his play. He even switched up the side of the court, and they got the ball. We had a foul to give, and we actually said, okay, if they get a running start, or if they were going away from the basket, then go ahead and foul. But Sanaya Rivers got going downhill, and we weren't able to foul her before she got the shot off. So when we got the ball, we had two plays we wanted. The first one, we actually were going to go to Georgia. It was going to be a quick pass into Liz and hand it off to Georgia, and she was going to get a shot. And then they called a timeout to see what we were going to do. Then we switched the whole setup because Georgia was inbounding at first, and then we put Kayla inbounding the basketball second and went to our second option. So if she didn't get it, the lob was going to be there, and especially when they took the person off the ball. But if she didn't get the lob, didn't like the lob, then Georgia would have flashed to the ball and got a shot. And now I just told everybody else my place. Yeah.
And Georgia, what does it say about your team that, not only were you able to beat a top 5 unbeaten team, but you were able to do it by, after being down 11 points in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, we just didn't get disheartened. And I guess at this point, too, like, rankings are just a number by someone's name. Like, every team can go out and win. Like, we saw it. We beat Pitt by 50, and then they came and played a close game against Notre Dame. Like, anything can happen if you, just believe in yourselves. And we've been so big on believing in us and blocking outside everything and just really focusing on what we can do and have full belief in us. So confidence is a great thing. It can take you places, and I think we're building our confidence right now, and this is definitely a signature win in doing that.
On the left side, Carter.
Coach, how big of a boost was Karis Baker off the bench today?
Yeah, you know what? After when we went in the locker room, and obviously, Georgia played well, and it goes unsaid. Liz had a ho-hum 27 and 12. Please, when you guys say it, she missed some shots that she probably could have made today, but she gets 27 and 12, and we just kind of brush over it. It's just unbelievable. But the two that I really talked about in the post game meeting was Carly Wenzel and Karis Baker. Karis, 2 shots in the first half. When you only score 23 and she gets 6 of them, she kind of kept you in it. And she has that capability, and I thought she had a couple that she probably could have blown the roof off if she had hit the shot. But she's getting better and better and better. So we went toe-to-toe with the number 3 ranked team in the country going down the stretch with 2 freshmen on the floor. And both of them did a phenomenal job. And so they're growing, and our confidence in them is growing. And, if Karis can continue to play like that, the weapon that she is, and she gives us another threat out on the perimeter, it's very valuable to us.
And how nice is it going to be to have this one in your back pocket come tournament time and as you go through the rest of ACC play?
I thought you were going to say as I sit back and watch the Cowboys win, but all right, but yeah, you went a different direction. No, any win like this is going to be valuable. This league is so tough, and every game is going to be a battle. So you don't want to look back on a game like this and say we could have, should have. or we let that one get away, because that can be the difference in seeding as you go into the ACC tournament. And that's our goal right now is to play every game and win every game so we can put ourselves in a great position to have great seeding, not only for the ACC tournament, but the NCAA tournament. And those are things that's where our program has gone now, is that we used to just give us an opportunity to get in. Now it's like, okay, we want to play for proper seeding so that we can go as far as we can go.
Back to the room, Anthony.
Congrats to both of you. Georgia, when they take the lead with 2 seconds left, can you describe what the mentality and maybe the demeanor was like in that huddle with you and your teammates, knowing that the game was on the line with that play?
Honestly, probably just a bit unconscious. Like, as soon as he start drawing it up, we're like, we have to have faith. Like, if anyone was sitting there and didn't have faith, then I would not want them on my team at that point, because it's like, you have nothing to lose, and he's a great play caller, and we had enough time, so I don't think anyone was thinking otherwise.
And then, Kenny, could you describe what gives you confidence in this team that they're able to capitalize and execute in that situation?
We spend so much time together. The amount of times I work out with her, the amount of times I work out with Liz. Liz and I, we came back after Wake Forest and after the Pitt game, and we started working on catching the ball in traffic and keeping it high. And tonight was evident. When Kayla threw the pass, she caught it, she kept it high, and so I have so much belief in them as much as they have in me, and so. Like during the course of a game, they were on a run. I know them so well, they know me so well. I could call a timeout, but they know what I'm going to say. So you keep those timeouts as much as you can, and we needed every one of them down the stretch today. And so we have such a great relationship that we know what each other's thinking. Like people can, I can call a play with 9,000 people in the building, and I know they can't hear me, but they know my demeanor, and they know. And my hand signals don't even say what I'm actually trying to do or convey, but they know what we're talking about. And so that's how much confidence we have in each other. And so when they hit that shot with 2.2 seconds left, there was no panic. There was no dropping of the shoulders. Nobody said, dag on it. It was like, okay, it's our turn. We've been here before because it was the UNC game last year when they tied it up with 1 second, 2 seconds to go. And we threw the ball in, ironically, Kayla to Liz, off of Georgia's screen, and they execute. So they're smart. Georgia, Liz, and Kayla, they are the three smartest players I've ever coached. And when you have that luxury, you feel like you're never out of it.
Kenny, you guys only had 8 turnovers today. I know in the first half, some shots, getting good shots, some of them weren't falling, but how encouraging is it to have that few turnovers and a lot of good looks going forward in the ACC play?
It's good. I mean, we're a veteran ball club. Georgia's been through a lot. It's hard to pressure her, and we put the ball in her hand. She's our decision maker, and everybody else is following suit. They don't try to do too much. They know what they're supposed to do. They know what they're good at. And so we don't try to over dribble. We don't try to do certain things. We play within a system. And they understand it. They know what they're supposed to do. They play the way we're built, and we're built to let her be the decision maker, and some of the others feed off of that, and they make secondary moves or decisions. So they're understanding where they are, who they are, and what they're supposed to do, and that's why we're a better team now than we were in November when we played Iowa or LSU.
Back to Mark.
Kenny, to follow up on that, I guess any other areas of growth you see to explain, why this game you won compared to the Iowa and LSU games back in November?
Yeah, the Iowa game, it was a one-possession game. We make a shot or two, it changes the whole complexion of the game. So that if we play Iowa tomorrow, maybe we win. It's just I think we're that even. I really do. LSU was like that's a hard game. Like you saw here the crowd. That's what it was. Down there, and they were coming off emotion. We still weren't us yet. We were still trying to figure it out, but it bodes well for you when you play those games, because we're going to go back to NC State. I don't know when the date is, but I promise you it's going to be like that. And they're not going to be cheering us on, and so we're just a different team, and NC State's a top 5 team, legit. Legit. The way that they play, Wes is, in my opinion, the best coach in the league, and he does a phenomenal job, which is evident because you look at 2 teams out there, and it's the last 4 ACC champions. I like to put ourselves in there. They have 3 of them, but we're in there too. But he does a phenomenal job. His staff does a great job. Their sets are unbelievable. They are starting to execute them, and so that's a really legit good win for us. And as we continue on trying to build confidence.
Finish up with David.
Georgia, you mentioned the crowd, how seemed like every rebound, every loose ball, decibel went up. What is it like playing in front of a crowd like that, largest regular season crowd ever, when you guys keep getting those 50-50 balls, keep grabbing those rebounds, keep getting stops? NC State had a 7-minute scoring drought, and how much does that really propel you guys? And can you feel the effect that it's having on the opposing team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously it shakes the opposing team a bit, but I would just like to maybe highlight that students aren't even here and it's that rowdy. Can you imagine when students come back? It's going to get crazy, and I'm so happy that we're coming out, we're performing, and we're bringing people back in. People want to come watch. I can't, I'm supposed to be locked in, but, when Bailey gets on that mic and he says, this is her first time at a Virginia Tech women's basketball game, stuff like that, it's just, it warms my heart. It's so nice to hear because people are coming and we're getting attention, and we win games like this, we're only going to bring more people. So, the crowd like that, it's a game changer, and maybe if it was 4,000 people or 3,000 people, which is still great, I don't know if we would have pulled through like we did towards the end with our momentum.
Wes even acknowledged what we've done here and how we built it, and they talked about before we got here, it was the core cadets, maybe a few others, and now it's sellout crowd. It's no promotional game. It's no NCAA tournament game. It's a regular season game in January with no students here, and we're selling it out. And that's an testament to these kids, my staff, and everyone who has really brought an energy to women's basketball. And it really warms my heart. And I've said it 100 times, 1,000,000 times. These kids work hard. They work hard. They work as hard as their counterparts, and for them to be able to be celebrated or to be acknowledged in the same way, in the same manner, it warms my heart. It warms my heart because these kids love being a Hokie more than anything else, and the way they represent, and the way that they cheer, and they want everyone else to just really enjoy what we can provide. And so, wonderful game for us, wonderful game for our program, and our crowd's the best. And I don't know if anybody's louder, so I'm very proud, to be associated with it. If I can say one more thing, David de Guzman, my guy, congratulations, but I'm kind of mad. We've been together for a long time, right?
Yeah.
How many? About maybe
Almost 10 years.
10 years. All right, 10 years. So congratulations. All right, congratulations. But sorry to see you leave. Thanks for all the coverage that you've given us. All right, and what you guys have been able to do for us. So congratulations. All right.